Hey guys, this is Andreas from Pocketables.com, and today I'll be reviewing the Maglus Stylus version 2. So if you've been following the site, or specifically the old Nothing But Tablet site for a while, you may already know the story of the Maglus. It started out on a crowdfunding site similar to Kickstarter, just much smaller, and it didn't get funded, but the creators managed to actually get it into production anyways. So that was version 1, which came out a year ago or something like that. I reviewed it back then. This is version 2, which just came out. So if you've seen the first version, then you might be wondering what's the difference, because it does actually look quite similar. The Maglus is quite easy to spot in a crowd because it's not like any other stylus. It's made from machined aluminum. It has these two flat areas with rubber pads. So it's not symmetrical. It's not round or anything like that, like your traditional stylus like these two. It's also a bit bigger than some styli. It's a bit heavy, but it's a good type of heavy. It makes it easier to write because you actually feel like you're holding something. And of course, the reason why it's called the Maglus, and also sort of its trademark, is that it's magnetic. If I can just find the magnets on my smart cover. So the point is that you can actually just keep it stuck on your smart cover if you have an iPad, or I guess an iPad mini. I guess it would work for that as well. I'm not sure actually. So you can just keep it with you at all times, which is actually a very, very, very nice feature. Such a nice feature that I actually modified my vacuum stylus to sort of imitate it by having magnets as well. It's not really as efficient as the Maglus, because the Maglus has the magnets in the middle, while I had to put them up at the pen clip. So yeah, that's what makes the Maglus special, among other things. So to get to the things that are new for the Maglus version 2, basically the fact that you can do this. Just take off the entire tip, which is basically consists of the rubber nib, the attachment system, and then this O-ring that actually keeps it inside the main body of the stylus when it's in there. So compared to other styli that come with replaceable tips, this Wacom stylus actually, Wacom basically had to start offering replacement nibs because it broke. But those are just the rubber parts, so you basically have to unscrew the tip and then rip off the nib and just replace it. Same with this, which is sort of like a Wacom ripoff. Not in a bad way. It does exactly the same thing as the Wacom, just at half the price. This is the Arctic Emote, I think the name is. So instead, the Maglus sort of replaces the entire top part, and I think that's a good thing because it sort of makes it easier. And the other thing that's unique about the Maglus's replacement system is that they've actually thought about what you're going to do with the replacement nib when you're not using it. Just to be clear, this one came with a replacement nib, and at this point I have no freaking idea where that nib is. It might not even be on this planet anymore. At least I haven't seen it since I did the review. So instead, Maglus comes with this tiny container that's designed to go on your key ring. So you might have seen containers like this before. It's sometimes used for address labels for dogs. I think the original design was meant for matchsticks to keep them dry. But it comes with this nice little container with the Apple ID logo on it. And when you unscrew it, you have your spare tip in this little plastic bag. I haven't even taken it out yet, but it's basically just an identical replacement tip. So the idea is that you can always keep it on your keychain, so that if the nib is to break or something like that, then you always have it with you. And even if you don't, then it's much easier to keep this secure than this tiny rubber piece that basically looks like something that fell off, I don't know, packaging or something like that. So very nice to actually have this be part of the package. I gave the Maglus crew a lot of credits for their packaging the first time around. It comes in this cardboard box, which is very nice to see in a day where everything comes with 10 times more plastic than is necessary to wrap a car, basically. And this doesn't really fit inside because of both the size of the tube and the keyring. So at least for the first batches, I'm not sure if that's going to change. It still comes with the original box, and this is just loose in the package. So that's very nice. I appreciate people who are conscious about the environment. So you do get this nice little thing, and the entire package is 25 euros, which isn't bad, considering that the quality of everything, and that you actually have something that they put some thought into instead of just doing it because people had to complain to Wacom for their tips breaking. Is overall a very nice deal, I think. So, but let's get into the actual usage of the Maglus. So I actually like this stylus a lot, and if you just take a look at the difference between the nibs on these two, the Wacom Bamboo and the Maglus, you notice that the Maglus is much thicker. The nib is much thicker, which you would think actually translates to it being less accurate, but that is absolutely not the case, because the problem of a lot of these small styli is that, and that also includes the Arctic, by the way, is that the nib is very, very, very soft. So if I just try to do like this, you can sort of see which nib is softest by which one sort of gives and which one stays the shape. And just to do the same with this, the Maglus wins every time, and probably win against 4 of these. And that basically means that you get more of a tactile feedback when you actually press it against the screen. I find it very difficult to actually know when these two styli hit the screen, because it's just so soft that you don't notice the first couple of millimeters. So if I just open up my iPad, I'm in a note-taking application right now, which is GoodNotes. I don't know if you can see this, but if I just start drawing across the screen, you might be able to tell if the phone manages to focus, which doesn't seem likely at the moment. You can sort of see that the tip sort of sways from side to side, simply because it's so soft. And that becomes really annoying when you're trying to write, and it makes it very hard to be accurate, because by the time you actually notice that you hit the screen, you're sort of pressed all the way up against it. The Maglus, on the other hand, has no give when you're doing from side to side, unless you push it all the way down, and even then it's less than the other two. And that and because the nib is of very nice quality, it's actually possible to write very accurately with it just by trying to be accurate. I do, of course, use my infamous magnification mode, which I complain about all the time, and the lack of it on Android and stuff like that. So it doesn't really matter when you do like that. But if you need accuracy, then the Maglus is actually, I'd say, more capable than the smaller nib stylus, simply because it's easier to notice when you're actually touching the screen. And also, I mentioned the weight. This is probably as heavy as the other two combined. Well, maybe not this one because it has a pen inside it, but and that also helps with actually with the tactile feel of it, which is really nice, and that's actually intentional. So it's heavy by design, and I think that's a very good decision. So it's easy to be accurate with the stylus, because you immediately know when the tip is touching the screen, and that's very important when you're using a stylus. So even though it's thicker, I think the Maglus is actually the more accurate of these styli. So that doesn't mean that these are inaccurate, it just means that if I really were to try to write as accurately as possible, I would pick the Maglus, I think, every time. So as for size, the length is more or less the same, but the Maglus is thicker, and of course the design isn't as symmetrical all the way around. Like I said, the magnets are one of the best features, so that I even added it to this stylus. And just when you add all of this together, you have a nib that's extremely accurate. It actually has some thought behind it. A design that works very well. The material, of course, is aluminum, so it's very good quality. The magnets, and just the fact that it comes with a replacement nib that you're not going to lose that easily. I think that this is perhaps the best stylus purchase that you can make right now. So yeah, that's been a review of the Apple ID Maglus, available on their website for 25 euros. There will be a written review going with this video, so make sure to check out that one at Pocketables.com, and thank you for watching.